My name is Hannah Eldridge. I'm Assistant Professor in the Department of German, Nordic, and Slavic in the College of Letters and Sciences. The Leadership Institute is a year-long or academic year-long program where you really take the time through readings, videos, large group and small group discussions to delve into your own social identities, your cultural identities, and how they impact the way you move through the world, and as well as those around you and the structures in which we form those identities and how they play out in our lives. I thought it was going to be a little bit more like a traditional sort of seminar style class type environment where you do the reading, you go in, you talk about it, it's what I'm familiar with, it's what I do. So that was sort of what I came in expecting. It took a while to get used to the very free-form structure, but I think that really enabled me to undertake a lot of personal inquiry and really understand how the structures impacted me and what I do that I wouldn't have been able to do in a sort of traditional seminar style format. I came from a PhD program in which I read not one work of literature by a woman in 4 years of coursework. Forget people of color or other marginalized social identities. And so in some sense, I really needed remedial work to not just put those authors on my syllabi as a matter of tokenism, but to represent them authentically and to articulate to my students and help them draw out what those voices are bringing to the conversation of German literature that we would be missing out on otherwise, what those voices are bringing to the experience of being human that we would simply not hear if they were not there. It really taught me the value of stopping talking and learning to listen, and the community in the room has been something that's intensely supportive in doing that when things got really hard, when we got frustrated with each other, when we didn't know how to articulate something, when someone else said didn't chime with my experience. It was the sort of place where you could both take a step back and understand why, and ask, why do you say that? How is that working for you? Tell me more about it. And so I think the combination of support and challenge for me was something that was the most meaningful, and for me is only possible over the course of a longer period of time. I don't think you get there with people in the space of a 4-day institute. One of the things, especially as a white person and maybe especially as a white woman, that I deal with in negotiating my identities is a feeling of guilt or loss or deficit. And what I've gained in the course of doing this work is the correlatives of excitement, possibility, innovation. Yes, social justice work is hard. Dismantling structures of privilege is hard. It's worth taking the time, it's worth putting the work in, it's worth getting frustrated, it's worth doing the hard stuff. Because it's made me a better teacher and a scholar, and I hope ultimately a better person who's in the room for my students and my colleagues.